What if the next great NFL quarterback is already on the Browns roster and they're afraid to admit it? Shedeur Sanders just delivered one of the cleanest, most composed preseason debuts Cleveland has seen in years. 2 touchdown drives, no giveaways. Poise under pressure that you don't expect from a rookie, especially not a 5th-round pick. But instead of riding that momentum, the Browns hit the brakes. No first-team reps, no promotion, not even a hint that they're considering it. So now the question everyone's asking isn't how good is Shedeur Sanders, it's why are the Browns acting like they didn't see what the rest of the world just did? Because behind the coach speak and quiet decisions, something bigger might be going on. Something that has less to do with football and a lot more to do with control. Shedeur Sanders walked into his first NFL preseason game with every reason to fail. 5th-round pick, buried on the depth chart, barely given first-team practice reps. But when the lights came on, none of that mattered. He looked like he belonged. 10 drives, 3 scoring possessions, a red zone laser into tight coverage, a 30-yard beauty layered over 4 defenders, 0 turnovers. He played clean, confident, and completely in control. It wasn't flashy. It was veteran-level execution. The kind of debut that stops a franchise in its tracks and makes everyone ask, wait, do we already have our guy? But that question never got asked, at least not by the people who matter inside the Browns building. Less than 24 hours later, head coach Kevin Stefanski dropped the coldest answer possible. We're in evaluation mode. No upgrade, no reps with the starters, not even a plan, just process. And that silence, it sent Cleveland fans into a frenzy. Because when a rookie plays that well and gets nothing in return, it doesn't feel like caution anymore. It feels like resistance. Coming up, why talent alone might not be enough to break the Browns' quarterback hierarchy. What Shedeur Sanders just did should have forced the Browns into action. But instead of opportunity, he got obstacles. And those obstacles may have nothing to do with football. Cleveland's quarterback room is crowded. Kenny Pickett arrived with starter expectations and a contract that said so. Dillon Gabriel? A developmental project the team's already invested time and coaching into. And then there's Joe Flacco, the battle-tested veteran who helped calm the chaos in Cleveland just 2 seasons ago. Each one represents a choice the franchise already committed to. Reps promised, roles assumed. Shad threatens that balance, not because he's unprepared, but because he might be too ready. And here's the ugly truth teams rarely admit publicly. Moving a low draft pick past your high investment players creates friction. Contracts don't just shape payrolls, they shape depth charts. Rookie standouts? They're exciting to fans. But to front offices, they're inconvenient when they leap over guys tied to real money. Shad's performance sent a shockwave through the locker room. But maybe not the kind Stefanski wanted, because rewarding him fast could mean breaking the political structure they've carefully built. Next up, why this delay might have nothing to do with schematics, and everything to do with what happens behind closed doors. From the outside, it looks like hesitation. Inside, it's starting to look like a battle of control. Kevin Stefanski isn't just coaching a team. He's managing egos, expectations, and a tightly stacked locker room hierarchy. In the NFL, quarterback isn't just a position. It's the political capital of the franchise. Who starts? Who gets reps? Who gets elevated? It all sends a message. And right now, Stefanski's message is clear. Slow it down. Behind closed doors, it's not uncommon for coaches to preserve the plan. Even when a player is blowing it up. Shedeur Sanders wasn't supposed to be this ready, this soon. And for some coaches, that's not a gift, it's a disruption. Because once you give him first-team reps, once those reps start looking as good as they did Friday night, there's no going back. You can't bench him quietly. You can't pretend he's a developmental guy after he opens the offense like a 10-year vet. The moment Stefanski hands him the keys, it's a full-blown quarterback controversy. The kind that consumes a season if you're not ready. So maybe that delay isn't about readiness at all. Maybe it's about control of the narrative, the locker room, and the storm that's about to hit if Shedeur Sanders keeps proving the coaches wrong. Next up, the one thing no one wants to say out loud. What it really means to carry the Sanders name. It's not just that Shedeur Sanders played well, it's who he is. And that changes everything. Shad isn't just a rookie quarterback. He's the son of Deion Sanders, NFL legend, Hall of Famer, cultural icon, and currently the most talked about coach in college football. With that last name comes something no other backup on the Browns roster brings. Non-stop national attention. Shad gets it. That's why he reportedly asked Deion not to attend training camp. One glimpse of his dad in the stands, and the cameras would have shifted away from the field before the first snap. That's how much gravity the Sanders brand has. But fame doesn't always wait for permission. When Shad threw his first preseason touchdown, Deion didn't even use a full sentence. Just tweeted, "Yes, Lord." And it still reached over 2 million people overnight. That kind of exposure turns every throw into a headline. It turns backup reps into debates on ESPN. It turns evaluation mode into a national storyline. For Browns fans, it's electric. For a head coach trying to control the pace of a young QB's rise, it's pressure. The kind that builds fast and becomes impossible to mute. And Kevin Stefanski knows. The moment he elevates Shad, he's not just promoting a player. He's inviting everything that comes with the Sanders spotlight right into the locker room. Next up, when legends speak, the league listens, and Shad just got the stamp of approval from one of the loudest in NFL history. You don't have to believe the hype, but when Hall of Famers start speaking up, you'd better listen. After Shad's preseason debut, one of the first voices to weigh in wasn't a reporter, a fan, or even Deion. It was Michael Irvin, 3-time Super Bowl champion, Cowboys legend, and a man who knows what greatness looks like under pressure. Irvin didn't just retweet a highlight. He broke down tape from one of the ugliest spots on the field, 3rd and 8, backed up at his own 8-yard line. Most rookies panic there, most check down. Some don't even get the snap off cleanly. Shad? He calmly read the defense, shifted protections, and delivered a perfectly timed dart that moved the chains. No scramble drill, no heroics, just clean NFL quarterbacking. And Irvin made it clear. That's where you find out if a guy belongs. Not in the pocket when you're up 10. And that's what really sent alarm bells ringing. This isn't just about quarterback development anymore. It's about optics, politics, timing. Because giving Shad those reps doesn't just create an opportunity, it creates expectation. And Stefanski knows once that door opens, he'll be expected to ride the hot hand. Even if it means benching a veteran, disrupting the depth chart, or facing locker room whispers about favoritism. So maybe this pause, it's not about patience, it's about strategy. Keeping Shad in neutral buys the staff time. Time to manage a suddenly complicated quarterback room. Time to shape their narrative. Time to figure out how to contain something that's already on fire. But here's the danger. If you wait too long, you don't just kill momentum, you risk losing the moment entirely. Coming next, Cleveland's QB trauma runs deep, and fans are already feeling that all too familiar sense of déjà vu. If there's one fan base that knows quarterback heartbreak, it's Cleveland. Browns fans have lived through every version of false hope imaginable. The can't-miss draft pick who missed. The free agent savior who fizzled out. The flashes of promise that always burned out before they ever caught fire. So when Shedeur Sanders walked on the field and played like a poised, polished pro, it didn't just light up the scoreboard, it lit up the city. For those few quarters, he gave Cleveland fans something they haven't had in a long time. Hope, backed by proof. He didn't scramble around like a panicked rookie. He didn't force throws. He didn't look like he was trying to prove anything. He just operated. Smooth footwork, crisp reads, zero panic. It was calm and it was because instead of building on what they saw, the Browns put him right back in the shadows. No elevation, no vision, no plan fans can rally around. And when your franchise has cycled through nearly 40 starting quarterbacks since 1999, patience wears thin. The talent is there, the tape is there, the fans are ready, but somehow the team still isn't. Up next, all eyes are shifting to Philadelphia, and it could be Shad's point of no return. The waiting's almost over, and the real test begins now. The Browns are heading to joint practices with the Philadelphia Eagles, and this isn't just another walkthrough. This is live reps, real starters, and playoff-caliber pressure. It's the kind of setting where quarterbacks aren't just evaluated, they're exposed. And for Shedeur Sanders, this might be the make-or-break moment of his rookie year. Kevin Stefanski has already admitted that Shad will get a ton of reps this week. But what he hasn't said is who those reps will be with. Will it be the starters, or more second-string handoffs and snaps to receivers who won't even make the roster? Because that distinction means everything. If Shad's standing across from Philly's first-team defense and still delivering, that's your proof of concept. That's undeniable. That's QB1 pressure. And if he thrives in it, the tape will speak louder than any press conference ever could. But if they hide him again, keep him buried in third-team duties, Stefanski can justify anything. It becomes easy to say he's not ready without ever truly giving him the opportunity. This week is the hinge. The spotlight's already there. The fan support is already peaking. And all that's left is the chance. Up next, the conclusion. Why hesitation now could cost Cleveland more than just a QB battle. It could cost them the moment that changes everything. In the NFL, windows don't stay open forever. They slam shut in seconds, sometimes before a coach even realizes they were open to begin with. And right now, the Browns have something rare. A rookie quarterback who didn't beg for the spotlight, but took the moment and made it his. Shedeur Sanders didn't just impress, he delivered under real pressure, with poise, clarity, and control that even veterans struggle to find. He gave Cleveland fans something they haven't had in years, a reason to believe. So what's he waiting for? Or better yet, what's holding him back? Because this doesn't feel like a kid earning his spot the slow way. It feels like a franchise caught between fear and faith. Fear of disrupting the system. Fear of the spotlight he brings. Fear of being criticized for moving too fast. But here's the truth. Momentum doesn't wait. And fans can already feel this story tilting toward déjà vu. Another moment missed because someone couldn't pull the trigger. If the Browns truly want to build something real, something lasting, something exciting, the answer isn't buried in evaluation reports or politics. It's right there on the game tape. It's in the eyes of the fans. It's in Shad's hands. Let him take the next step. Because if Cleveland hesitates now, they won't just lose momentum. They might just lose their moment.